I can see why people like electric cars. So you're probably wondering what the hell is going on with my car. This is not my new car, guys. I've been invited by BYD to the launch of the new car, the Dolphin Surf. So this is an automatic car, so I'm not what I'm used to. I'm going to take it for a little test drive. I'm going to show you the different things that are in this car. So with automatic, you want to make sure that you're pressing the brake before you try to do anything. So now I see the screen shows you if you're in drive, if you're going forward or reverse. So if I go like this, now it's in reverse. If I go like that, now I can go into drive, and then I'll do my checks, make sure it's safe. When I come off the brake now, the car starts moving pretty much straight away. So you want to be really careful. Unlike in a manual car, once you come off the brake here, the car starts pushing you forwards. So you need to be super aware that that might happen.
All right. There. Can I scan your badge, please?
Yeah, sure.
Right. Have you got a route?
I do, yeah.
Right. Okay.
Thank you. The thing is, I've got a route, but I'm not following it because the route that they've taken me on is not going to allow me to go on the dual carriageway. I'm going to be a bit cheeky and go on my own route. I know this area quite well, so I'm going to go and test it out on the dual carriageway and then come back. So far it's really smooth to drive actually. It feels really nice. It feels strange saying gas in an electric car, but when I press the gas down, you get a lot of power straight away. So a nice little screen here telling us exactly what's going on. And I've got a nice view ahead of me as well because there's not too much going on. I like the fact there's not too much going on. In cars, I think it should have minimal things going on so you can focus on the drive. And I believe this can turn as well. I'm not sure if it can turn. Oh, there you go. You can rotate like this. So you prefer it like that and you can rotate it, but I prefer it like the other way. And normally in a manual car, I'll be telling you guys to clutch down, get into first gear. But here you don't need to do any of that. You can just keep it in gear. Just put your foot down. And when you're ready to move again, you just come off the brake and then the car will start moving. I can see why some people would go for automatic cars because it's just so much simpler. Just here, it feels so strange not using my left foot. And the brake is not as sensitive as my car. You need to brake quite hard for the car to stop here. Normally in a petrol car, you'd hear the engine. I don't know what that was. Maybe saying camera alert. In the petrol car, normally you'd hear the engine. And oh, so you see, they're telling me eyes on road. You can detect your eyes, and it's telling me that I need to keep my eyes on the road. It feels really strange to be told to keep my eyes on the road, even though I thought my eyes were on the road. So I think if I keep looking around, because I don't know when it said to keep your eyes on the road. If I keep looking around, like there you go, you see? It tells you to keep your eyes on the road. I'm not sure if you can turn that off because imagine you're getting told off all the time by your car to keep your eyes on the road. This has got cruise control as well. Even if I'm not pressing anything, the car will maintain that speed. Let's see if it slows down with the car in front of us. So I think it can detect that there's a car in front of us. I'm not pressing anything right now. The car's doing everything by itself right now, apart from the steering. And it's slowing down each time it sees the car in front, or if he's getting close to the car, it's slowing down. So this is what you call adaptive cruise control. The car's actually controlling the speed based on what's happening in front. So I'm not pressing any gas, I'm not pressing any brakes. The car is doing the driving pretty much by itself. And then now it should slow down a bit. You see, this feels really weird not pressing anything, but the car's doing it by itself. It's almost like I'm not driving. Yeah, but even though if you got this feature, you need to be super careful that you're still focusing on the road, because if the car's taken over like this, you might feel like, oh, I can just relax now. But really, you still need to be alert because someone might run into the road, and it feels a bit weird with it going towards this car as well, because it feels like it's braking a bit late. Let's see what it does now. I'm gonna keep my foot near the brake just in case. There you go. So now it's moving, but I'm not pressing anything. And then now it's catching up with that car. Let's see what it does at the roundabout. See, yeah, it's gonna go anyway. So this is where you have to be careful, because at the roundabout there, the car can't tell if it's clear or not. Yeah, so all the controls are here as well. There's a lot of controls on the steering wheel, so you don't have to be messing about with the screen here. So this car is built to basically perform in any road situation. So some cheaper electric cars, they're designed mainly for the urban environment where you can just drive around the town or small places like that. But with this one, It's designed to be driven on motorways, dual carriageways, any road you can think of. This car is designed to drive there as well. With a maximum speed of over 90 miles per hour. Obviously you guys are not going to do that, but it's capable of doing those kind of speeds. So much power available at your feet. It's really tempting to put the gas down and go fast, but it's a 20 zone, so I need to be really careful not to do that. I'm going to try that feature that tells you when you're tired, or when you should take a break.
Detected. Please take a rest.
So you see that? It thought I was tired because I was yawning and I was rubbing my eyes, and it say I should take a rest. So that's the drowsiness detection there coming in. Okay. I can see why people like electric cars. It's really fun. It responds kind of like those games I used to play back in the days. As soon as I put my gas down, the car was flying. Okay. Whoa, so you need to be careful with this one because it accelerates really fast. So one of the main reasons I like my Fiesta is because of the acceleration in there. So when I press the gas down, it does exactly what I'm asking it to do. I'll get the same feeling with this car as well. It's not as loud, you don't get that roaring sound, but you get even more power than the Fiesta. So you get the 360 camera there around as well that shows you what's next to us. So you're getting a bird's eye view of what's going on around us. But with this kind of technology, you still want to make sure that you're checking your mirrors. Don't just rely on the screen. Make sure you're checking the mirrors as well. And so that way you're showing effective observation rather than just looking only at the screen. Because if you only look at the screen, you are going to fail the test for observation. You want to make sure that you're checking around you when you're doing like reversing or when you're doing like changing lanes and things like that. Because these screens only show you a certain amount of the road. They don't show you everything that you need to see, which you can see in your mirrors and doing your blind spot checks. Okay, let's see what it's like to park this car now. I'm going to do a parallel park next to this other BYD car. So let's get into reverse, do our checks. When you come off the brake, it's quite fast, so you need to really control the car with your brake, otherwise it's going to go too fast in reverse. So looking around, and we've got this screen here helping us to see where the car is going to end up based on how we turn. So if I turn like this, you can see it changes based on how much I'm turning. So if I go like that, I know I want it to end up somewhere like around there. And the temptation here is to just look at the screen only. This is where people fail their test. If I just look at the screen here and get the car parked nicely, I'm still going to fail because I didn't look around all the way. So you want to make sure that you're checking everywhere, checking behind, checking that way. And then once you get it straightened up like this, straighten out your car. And again, making sure you do effective observations and then put the handbrake on and then you're done. So now let's try a bay park now. So let's get into reverse again. I'm aiming for the spot between that blue BMW and the Mercedes. So again, checking around. So if I do it like that, you see, let me see if I do it like this, it's showing that it's going to end up right in between those two cars. So let me see if it's going to work like that. And again, don't be tempted to only look at the screen. Still using my mirrors as well. If I turn it like this, if I'm basing it on the screen there, it's really good actually, because these lines tell you exactly where the car's going to go. So if I leave it like this, it's going to go too much towards that side. And then we've got a little sensor as well telling us how close we are. So in the mirror, I can tell that we've got space. On the 360 camera, it looks quite close. It looks a bit scary. Yeah, so let me go back a bit more. And then once I'm in, I can stop, put my handbrake on, put it into park. Yeah, so nice and easy. So this is the BYD Dolphin Surf. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I'm going to do more test drives with other cars. Let me know in the comments which other car you want me to test drive and I'll do that for you. So thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.